On the 7th anniversary of our relationship, my father married Drew Vance's mother. After that, Drew Vance and I broke up. He was the one who brought it up. And he threw down the line, "The second I picture you as my little sister, I feel sick." Lost and heartsick, I stayed that way until Dad produced a blind date candidate, Max. Max had broad shoulders, a tapering waist, and legs that went on forever, plus a face laser-etched from my personal taste. More importantly, he was young, and he looked very capable. Max leaned in, adorably shy. "Jamie, I heard you like the flirty type. I can." "Can? Can what, exactly?" I was a little curious, and that same night he ushered me to the grand. Watching him kneel in a maid costume, ready to serve, I broke into a nervous sweat. Isn't this moving too fast? The next second my phone lit up. Drew Vance, drunk. "Joanna, I miss you so much." Before I could answer, Max cut the call off without mercy. He curved his lips, leaned in, and just when I thought he'd kiss me he whispered, "Jamie, want to buy a life insurance policy?" Before we go on, please subscribe to this channel and drop a comment telling us where you're listening. What? Buy what? I blinked like an owl. Max's gorgeous cheeks flushed as his fingers kept kneading my thigh. "I've been servicing you this whole time, Jamie. It'd look bad if you didn't purchase a little coverage." I froze, brain buffering, every last trace of romance evaporating. Pouting, Max crooned, "Jamie, say something." I managed a wooden, "You sell life insurance?" He nodded. "Yup. The boss said you like the flirty type, and if I don't hustle I'll get canned." I kept a poker face, too embarrassed to admit I'd mistaken him for my blind date candidate. "Fine. Give me one of everything." I bought every policy on the menu. Max beamed. "Rowan, you're an absolute angel." I cooled my voice. "Next time don't wear a suit that sharp. Insurance salesmen ought to look like insurance salesmen. Not like runway models." Sweetly, he laughed. "Sorry, can't help it, my face is a gift from my parents." "Don't hold it against me, Jamie." I got choked up again and managed a stiff wave. "Scram." He bowed repeatedly, scooped up his discarded jacket, and scurried out, but before the door shut I stopped him. "Hold up." His eyes sparkled. "What is it, Jamie?" "Something about the policies you don't get." I slid a black card between two fingers and smiled. "What do you pull down a month?" 3, 4 grand when I'm dry. When it rains, sky's the limit. Why not quit?" "I'll keep you." Max blinked, then blushed. "That feels wrong. I can't live off someone else." I slapped the black card on the side table. "Swipe away." Staring at it, he murmured, then again, "Maybe I could." I laughed, at least he's honest. "So, what would I have to do?" he stammered, suddenly shy. "Go home for now." Clutching the card, he bobbed his head and left. Once the door clicked shut I groaned into the pillows. If the first mistake was following Max to the grand, what exactly was the second, offering to sugar mommy him? My mouth had outrun my brain. These days there simply aren't many guys calibrated to my taste. Think of it as paying for service, I decided, and speed dialed my assistant, forwarding Max's business card. Background check. "I want the full file." I figured nothing would shock me. I was wrong. Max is 19, 8 years younger than me. For a second I felt like a statutory crime scene. Then I noticed he never even finished high school, no SAT high school equivalency. My sugar mommy impulse suddenly felt reckless. The next instant Drew Vance rang again. I declined. 1 month ago, on our 7th anniversary, Drew Vance and I broke up. His call. Because Dad married Drew Vance's mother. He couldn't stomach it. I told him our parents' stunt didn't have to touch us. All he said was, "The second I picture you as my little sister, I feel sick," and that single sentence shattered 7 years. I was a wreck, couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, drank with my girlfriends every night. After the 500th mention of Drew Vance they rolled their eyes. "Why torture yourself? Plenty of men out there. If he dumped you so easily, he never loved you. Crying over him is a waste. Light bulb, I'm rich, pretty, successful, any man I want is a phone call away. Back home I ran straight into Dad, perennial ice between us. This time he stopped me. Joanna. The sound made my skin crawl. I glared. Talk like a human, please. He exhaled. You're determined to kill me with stress, huh? What do you want? We normally operate on mutual ignore. He cleared his throat. I didn't mean to wreck things with you and little Vance, Drew. So what? Truthfully, I never blamed Dad or Evelyn's stepmother for the split. If it hadn't happened now, some other bomb would have blown us up later. Let me set you up, he offered. My friend has a son, at least presentable. Presentable loses something in Dad's translation. You like handsome, this kid's easy on the eyes. Exhausted, I couldn't argue. Dad's track record for helpful gestures is zero. Yet the next morning, hungover and sore, I remembered his pitch. I decided to go, call it Drew Detox. And that's how I mistook Max for the candidate Dad promised. I spent 15 mortified minutes in the suite, then grabbed my bag and fled the Grand. Back at the Sterling estate, I found Drew Vance eating lunch at the family table. Evelyn's stepmother flinched. Sorry, I didn't know you'd be home. She scrambled to set me a place. I waved my hand. I already ate out. As I spoke, I headed upstairs without looking back. I treated Drew Vance like air, but I did find it a little strange. On the phone he'd sounded drunk, yet now he looked completely sober. I found out why soon enough. I scrolled past a mutual friend's Instagram story, several short clips in a row. Drew Vance was playing Truth or Dare with a bunch of people. He'd drawn Dare and been ordered to call his ex and say he missed her. Cameron, thank God my call had gone to voicemail, I hadn't humored him. Drew had lost face and had to down a few penalty shots. Next round he drew Dare again, this time he had to kiss any girl in the room. He picked my high school friend, Savannah. They kissed like nobody else existed, reckless and loud. I stared blankly at the screen. I'd expected to feel hurt, to ache. Instead I felt nothing, just blank. My 7 years with Drew Vance were officially over. The next second someone knocked on my bedroom door. I assumed it was housekeeper. It was Drew Vance. His eyes were downcast, his voice tinged with gloom. Joanna, come down for dinner. I frowned. I already said I'm not eating. His gaze turned irritable. Joanna, how far are you going to push this? My mom never wronged you. You shouldn't throw away the work she put into this meal. She cooked it. I was genuinely puzzled. What right did Drew Vance have to lecture me? I eat when I want and skip when I don't. Even my own father can't force me. Who the hell does Drew Vance think he is? Get lost and stop annoying me. I tried to shut the door. He threw out a hand to block it. Joanna, you're jealous, aren't you? All of this is your fault. Your dad just had to marry my mom. I laughed, sharp and cold. Drew Vance, the man marrying your mom is my dad. It has nothing to do with me. If you've got complaints, go whine to him. Or maybe you just don't dare. His expression flickered. I snorted and slammed the door hard. His hand wasn't out in time. The door clipped it. A pained grunt escaped his throat. I rolled my eyes. Serves him right. I turned and dialed Max. He picked up almost instantly. Sis, what are you doing? I miss you so much. I sucked in a breath. The kid sure knew how to talk. Nothing special, just talking to you. Max chuckled. Sis, can I come see you right now? I hesitated. We'd only parted a short while ago, and it was already late. I'd underestimated Max's determination. Sis, please, let me come to you. I caved to his whining and gave him the address of an old apartment I'd once kept. Max answered instantly, got it, sis. I'll be right there. I grabbed my purse and hurried out, only to find Drew Vance still lingering in the hallway, face dark. I ignored him and kept walking. Where are you going? I snapped, none of your business. It's late, could be dangerous. I was speechless. How could he say that with a straight face? Not your concern. I'm off to see my boyfriend. Drew Vance's pupils shrank, then he barked a laugh. Joanna, you're really spinning lies to get my attention now? My mood stayed steady. In the boardroom I'd met guys far more arrogant and deluded than Drew Vance. Nothing to get upset over. Believe what you want, it's none of your business who I date. Drew Vance's face turned ugly, words stuck in his throat. But the moment I reached the foyer, Savannah walked in. Joanna, what are you doing here? I smiled. This is my house, I should be asking why you're here. Savannah glanced past me. Drew Vance stood at the foot of the stairs. Save, come here. Savannah shot me a smug grin, then ran straight into Drew Vance's arms. His voice was icy, eyes locked on me. This is my girlfriend, she's here for me. I gave a single nod, walked past them, and pushed open the front door. I missed the split-second crack in Drew Vance's composure. Whoever he dated was none of my concern now, just don't disgust me. When I reached the apartment, Max was sitting obediently by the door, waiting. The sight tugged at something in my chest. Hearing my footsteps, he looked up, eyes lighting up instantly. Sis, you're finally back. I knocked earlier but you weren't here. I curved my lips. I had something quick to take care of. Max wouldn't let it go. He buried his head against me. I missed you so much. His hug was solid, almost childish, and I couldn't help laughing. We just met, freshly sugar mommy arranged, and already he missed me? His cheeks flushed. Sis, let's go inside. I pulled out my keys and handed him one. You'll live here from now on. This had been my college crash pad, fully furnished, more than enough for him alone. Okay, whatever you say, sis. Listening to his sticky sweetness, I figured if he channeled even a third of this energy into work, he wouldn't be flirting with unemployment. The experience felt amazing. We went round after round. At last he whimpered, Sis, my legs are sore. I laughed. Some guys do run out of steam after a while. Still, his performance had been top tier. I got up to shower. Mid-rinse, Max suddenly called, Sis, your phone's ringing. At this hour, whoever it was had serious nerve. Ignore it. Max shouted back, on it. When I stepped out of the bathroom, Max apologized frantically. I'm so sorry, I think I caused trouble. I lifted a brow. What kind? I accidentally answered. Some guy was yelling. He demanded to know who I was, and I said I was your toy boy. Then he swore at me like crazy. The more Max talked, the more miserable he looked. Only one guess needed, Drew Vance. All right, forget him, I've got it. I bent over my phone and blocked every contact point for Drew Vance, then deleted them all. In doing so I missed the satisfied smirk that tugged at Max's lips. Task done, Max wrapped himself around me. Sis, I'm so sleepy, let's go to bed. I nodded, my body was drained. Max clung to me, all warm and clingy, making me laugh quietly into the dark. I was drifting off when the balcony glass exploded under a thrown stone. I jolted awake. The next sound was Drew Vance roaring. Joanna! Get down here! My brows pinched together. Max's arms tightened around me. Who's that, Jamie? Want me to call? I started to get up, but he was already tense. Don't go. I'll check. What if it's dangerous? I grabbed his shoulders, then let go. Relax, I'm dialing building security. Downstairs, Drew Vance kept screaming. Lights flicked on as neighbors woke up. Shut up. People are trying to sleep. He snarled back, piss off. My girl's up there with another man. I squeezed my eyes shut. He was insane. Disgust rolled through me. Max still wouldn't settle. I'm going out for a look. He flicked on the light, stepped onto the balcony, and glanced down. While I wasn't watching, he flashed Drew a smug grin. Security picked up. They promised to remove him fast. Drew's shrieks wouldn't stop. Bitch! I'll kill you! Max spun around, eyes wide. Jamie, I'm scared. He buried his head in my chest. Irritated, I had no sleep left in me. Guards hauled Drew away. Max looked up, pitiful. Who was that? He's terrifying. No one, I said coldly. Just trash. I'd obviously been too nice, that's why Drew felt bold. I patted his cheek. Bed now. We'll talk tomorrow. Morning came. I walked to the balcony. Max had swept every shard. Breakfast's ready, Jamie. After eating I murmured, I need to stop by the estate. Max stayed sweet, no clinging. Okay. I'll wait here. We kissed before I left. The moment I arrived, Dad and Evelyn's stepmother were sipping tea, their faces shifted as if I were the stranger. I ignored them, marched to Drew's suite, and swung a sledgehammer. Housekeeper rushed over. Miss, what? I handed her the hammer. Trash it. Every last thing. Baffled, she obeyed. Dad and Evelyn ran upstairs at the racket. Dad's complexion darkened. Joanna! This is Drew Vance's room. Tears shimmered in Evelyn's eyes. Did Cameron upset you? I'm sorry, honey. Dad's temper flared. He raised a hand, but I seized his wrist. Dad, was I too polite? Your precious stepson shattered my balcony at midnight. I break his room, so what? Evelyn blurted, impossible. Cameron's a good boy. Good? He's almost 30, stop the mommy act, it's sickening. Dad glowered. Show respect. Where are your manners? My voice went low. Charles, don't push me. I can leave you wifeless and heirless, believe it. He panted, fingers shaking. Unfilial daughter, unfilial? Would meekly taking your beatings make me a good one? Evelyn sobbed. Dad fussed over her. I watched, disgusted. He'd never comforted my mother like that. No love, never was. Keep your wife and her leech son away from me. Next time it won't stop at her room. Dad muttered, You're still bitter about the breakup? I rolled my eyes. What image did he have of me? Hardly. He's 30, ancient. I like them young. Right then Cameron rushed in and saw the carnage. Joanna, are you done yet? Dad apologized hurriedly. Sorry, Cameron, she's emotional. I slapped Cameron's face. Jerk. Keep your hands, or lose them. He cupped his cheek, stunned. You hit me? For chucking rocks at my window, yes. His face blackened. Who answered your phone last night? My boyfriend. Problem? His breathing roughened. Impossible. You'd never move on. I laughed in disbelief. Think you're a prize? I'll sleep with whoever I want. Ignoring Dad and Evelyn, Cameron dragged me to my room and punched the wall. Joanna, no way you're with someone else. I sneered. Believe what you like. Oh, and you're banned from this house. You and your mom eat ours, drink ours, live off us, pathetic. The pathetic one was him. He hyperventilated. What did you just say? I stared daggers. Out. Now. Parasite. Piss me off and I'll say worse. I rang bodyguard. Escort Cameron out. I don't want to see him. Cameron seethed. Enough games, Joanna. Out. Housekeeper and bodyguard obeyed me. I could fire them tomorrow. They hauled Cameron off, Evelyn wailed. Dad cursed me. The third time he called me unfilial, I snapped. Leave, unless you want to find yourself divorced and alone. I knew his weakness, face. He still wouldn't admit I owned this house now. His expression froze. He ushered Evelyn out, not daring to irk me further. That episode sharpened me. I headed to Sterling and began tightening my grip, piece by piece. Family, romance, none of it mattered. Only capital keeps you standing. Since then, my days belonged to the office, my nights to the lakeside. Life was rolling along so smoothly that no wonder my CEO girlfriends all loved keeping a toy boy. Really, the attentiveness was off the charts. I couldn't believe I'd never noticed how cost-effective it was before. Avery, I was curled up in Max's lap getting work done. Max suddenly said, "Joanna, I want to find a job." "What kind of job? Aren't you happy at home?" His voice dropped. "It's not that. I just feel I don't deserve you." I'm nowhere near Drew Vance. I paused at that and looked up at him. "What's wrong? Did you see him?" Logically, Drew Vance and Max shouldn't have had any reason to cross paths. Max gave a small nod. "It's okay, though. I only listen to you. Whatever you tell me to do, I'll do." "What did he say to you?" Max's gaze darted away. "Nothing much. Just that I'm not good enough for you and I should get lost." Then, timidly, he added, "Joanna, am I really that worthless?" Oh, boy, I could see the self-doubt creeping in. "You're not worthless. You're way better than he is." But the words didn't comfort him, his lashes were already damp. "Joanna, I'll work harder." No need. I was keeping Max. I didn't expect him to bring in money. Besides, I have more than I could ever spend. Still, I'd underestimated his resolve. He actually volunteered to take the SAT high school equivalency. I was kind of stunned. The thought of him as a high school student made me feel downright criminal. "How about I send you to study abroad? You don't have to sit for exams." "No. I want to work for it." I was honestly going crazy. Really, it's not necessary." Max's face went stiff. He stared at me with zero expression, yet I could feel the pressure radiating off him. Negotiation over. Fine. If you want to take the test, take it." I enrolled him in a school and hired private tutors, which turned me into a parent who had to pick him up every night. Actual heart attack material. Because Drew Vance had taken it upon himself to hassle Max, I had people trip him up. Lately he'd been having a rough time at work. "Sam." Savannah barged into my corner office and demanded, "Why did you kill my resume?" Only when she said it did I remember the thing existed. "Your skill set isn't up to par. This isn't a farmer's market, and you shouldn't be here shouting about it." Other than Drew Vance slipping it in, I couldn't think who else would have. "And by rushing into my company like this, you're going to get Drew Vance in serious trouble." Did she still think I was some little girl who put love above everything? "I'm a ruthless capitalist, petty and selfish." Savannah smirked. "Joanna, are you that jealous?" "Jealous I've got Drew Vance's love?" I couldn't even describe it. I definitely couldn't wrap my head around Savannah's mental wiring. Back in high school I already hated that holier-than-thou act of yours. "Why should you get everything without lifting a finger?" I said flatly, "Because I was born with it." "Don't be so possessive of other people's things, okay, Rowan?" Savannah's face contorted. "You're jealous, that's why you're blocking my job search." "Savannah, no means no. Your abilities are the problem. I treat everyone the same. I'm here to make money, not run a charity. Why shouldn't I pay for someone actually qualified?" "Jealous, my ass." I called my secretary, "Get up here, someone's trespassed into the office." "And find out who let her in, terminate them on the spot." If a criminal had walked in, how could anyone's safety be guaranteed? Savannah snarled, "I'm Drew Vance's girlfriend. You can't do this to me." I stayed deadpan. You could be his birth mother and it still wouldn't matter. Security dragged Savannah out. I stared at the ceiling in silence. Those two love breaking and entering, they really are made for each other. Breaking up with Drew Vance was definitely the right call. The memory that I'd once cried over it made me cringe so hard my back broke out in a sweat. That evening I was about to pick Max up when Dad rang. He asked me to come home for dinner. I agreed and told Max to take a cab back. I'm never angry at Dad for long. I can sit at the table perfectly calm. I hadn't expected Drew Vance to be there too. Dad was warmer to me than he'd ever been, until he said, "Your stepmother is pregnant." I glanced at Evelyn. She was glowing. I said without emotion, "Terminate it. I will not tolerate anyone but me in this family." Dad froze as if he'd misheard. "Terminate it," I repeated. His face went livid, but he swallowed it. "Joanna, that's your little brother." I smiled. "We don't know the gender yet, and until it's born it isn't a person." A chill ran through Dad as he realized I was capable of anything. Evelyn was terrified, pleading silently with Drew Vance. Drew Vance's voice was ice. "Savannah and I are over. How much longer are you going to throw a tantrum?" I leaned back in my chair, calm. "Drew Vance, if you don't own a mirror, you can still pee on the floor and check your reflection. What the hell are you that you dare act out in front of me?" Drew Vance looked rattled. "Joanna, enough. I just couldn't handle our situation at first." I gave an indifferent shrug. I wasn't going to argue. As far as I'm concerned, once Drew Vance and I broke up, especially since he'd been the one to end it, we were finished. Right now the baby was the only thing that mattered. Dad, you know me. I hate the idea of siblings. The moment I picture someone fighting me for the family trust, I feel like crippling him. I propped my chin in my hand and smiled at Dad. "So, do you want to terminate it now, or shall I wait until it's born and make sure it spends life in a hospital bed? You taught me, look out for yourself or heaven and earth will destroy you." Dad's jaw was clenched. He couldn't accept what I'd become. "Joanna, this child will be part of the family." I said coolly, "Dad, you never wanted me this badly. When I was 3 you almost strangled me because Mom refused to give you a son." Dad shot to his feet, panic all over his face. "Impossible. You think a 3-year-old can't remember, don't you?" I kept eating, voice light as air. "I remember every second. The only reason I haven't turned on you is that you're still useful." Evelyn was frantic. "This is my child. You have no right to decide whether it lives or dies." I lifted my eyes. "There's one other road, you can divorce Dad." A flicker of hesitation slid across Evelyn's stepmother's pupils. I smiled. "Can't bear to walk away from the money and the shine?" Drew Vance couldn't watch anymore. "Enough. Joanna, since when did you become this unreasonable? Doesn't your conscience hurt?" Drew Vance spoke again. I shut my eyes for a second, stood up, grabbed the chair and hurled it straight at him. "I've tolerated you for a long, long time. Didn't I tell you you're never allowed in my house again?" Drew Vance stood there dazed, the chair still clattering at his feet, staring at me like he was meeting me for the very first time. I smoothed my skirt. The food was delicious, but I've suddenly lost my appetite. "Dad, don't make me dirty my own hands." Dad exhaled, deep and ragged, and said nothing. I knew he hated me now, hated that I was forged from the same steel as him but came wrapped in a girl's skin. He used to loathe me, the living product of a marriage arranged for profit, but there was nothing he could do. After all, I'm still his daughter. When I reached the lakeside I'd barely pushed the door open when voices drifted out, none of them Max's. "Max, are you insane? Did I give you so much freedom that you think you can pull a stunt like this?" At the sound of the woman's voice I ducked behind the wall, heart hammering, straining to catch every word. Maybe this was an ex-girlfriend come to settle old scores. "I like Joanna, I love her. As long as I can stay beside her I'll do anything, she asks." The next second the woman slapped him. "Max, you're her toy boy. She's playing with you, and once you're old and faded she'll kick you to the curb." Max's breath came in ragged bursts. "All that matters is I have her now. What more do you want from me? I warn you, I'm not leaving her. I've loved her since I was a kid. The woman was so furious her liver hurt. How had she raised a son like this? They moved from the balcony into the living room. Seeing no place left to hide, I stepped out. The woman spotted me, embarrassment flashing across her face. I stared, stunned. Victoria, what are you doing here? I hadn't expected the person arguing with Max to be an old business acquaintance. Victoria pulled Max behind her, resigned. This is my son. I'm taking him home today. Sorry for the trouble he's caused you. My brows drew together, the pieces finally clicked. Max's family wasn't poor at all. My background check had been dangerously incomplete. Max muttered, "Mom, I'm not leaving. I want to stay with Joanna." Victoria was livid. Joanna has a boyfriend, you're making yourself the other guy. Max's eyes reddened, tears threatening. I spoke softly. Victoria, I've already broken up. I straightened my expression. Let's talk. Max was ushered out, leaving Victoria and me alone. I poured her a cup of tea and cut straight to the chase. I'll treat your son well, don't worry. Huh? Victoria looked completely floored. Victoria, I've spent these last days with him. I quite like him, we can give a real relationship a try. It was a decision made on the spot. If he loves me, why can't I answer? Besides, Max has no obvious flaws, at least none I've found so far. Victoria frowned. I know my boy, he's stubborn as a mule. Once you're with him you'll never shake him off. I laughed. Who starts dating without thinking marriage? And don't worry about my ex, he crossed a line, I'm not going back. I heard Max loved me since childhood, how young are we talking? From Victoria I learned a trunkload of stories. Turns out he first saw me in elementary school. Victoria looked half mortified, half amused. Then he announced he'd fallen in love with you. A while ago old Mr. Sterling was setting you up on arranged dates, so Max went out of his way to meet you. No wonder he mixed up the client files that day. I sighed to myself, small hurdles, all of them. From here on I'll date him properly. Victoria finally exhaled, then bombarded me with every quirk her son possessed, how wild and rebellious he'd been, how no one could control him. Going back to campus was the best thing that had happened in years. After I walked Victoria out, Max kept sneaking anxious glances. Joanna, you're not going to drop me, are you? I rolled my eyes. I'm not dropping you. Only then did Max relax. Beaming, he scampered off to change into the maid costume he'd bought. I spent the whole night drowning in fresh, youthful delights, so many tricks in such a young package. Next morning Dad's call jerked me awake. Joanna, the baby's been terminated. Oh. Bye. His voice turned urgent. The child wasn't mine. I arched a brow, sleep evaporating. Explain. That woman tricked me. She already hooked up with someone else. I stayed silent a beat. So your next move? Divorce, obviously, and make her walk away with nothing. Filing for divorce and flushing Evelyn's stepmother's pregnancy. Dad was even colder than me. My cruelty only targets those who threaten my interests. Dad dishes it out indiscriminately. Cross his pride and you're inscribed on his blacklist for life. Not that he can retaliate against me. Fine. Consider her erased. The second Dad hung up, Drew Vance rang through from an unknown number. Joanna, I've changed, let's get back together. He really thinks I'm an idiot. Drew Vance, you want a reunion now only because your mother and my father are divorcing. His voice tightened. Right, so we're no longer siblings. I snorted. And because you can't milk the Sterling trust anymore. You thought once your mom married my dad you'd inherit Sterling assets. That hope just imploded, so you scramble back to me. Life doesn't serve dishes that cheap. His voice shrank. Joanna, don't look at it like that, I'd never. I cut the call before he could finish. Pathetic. Whether his motives are dirty or not, I treat them all as conspiracy theories. Experience says a little paranoia never hurts. I crawled out of bed at a lazy pace. Max had already fixed breakfast and was heading to class. Before leaving, he brushed a kiss across my forehead. "Pick me up tonight, Joanna." I couldn't help smiling. Deal. Life like this feels good, no schemes, no suspicion, just one honest heart. Thanks for listening to today's story. If you enjoyed the video, please hit like and share it with friends. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more gripping tales. See you next time.